Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I decided to make a video about the 10 things that I love about the MPC. Okay, so listen up. These are personal choices. They relate mostly to my workflow. One thing that might be really good to me might not mean anything to you. If you're interested in knowing what I really like about it, then let's go into the video. So for number one, I have easy to use and easy to put down ideas really quickly. I really love the sequence workflow where you have different sequences that allow you to jump between one and the other really quickly and just write a different idea down. It's what an artist needs. It needs to put out ideas really quickly. The MPC already has everything opened up for you, so you have all your tracks already there. It's not like a DAW where you have to go and create a new track and create another one. You basically just turn into the new track that you have. It's that quick. You guys can just go here and so I can write it straight away, just record and do it. So that idea is down already. I can now go to another sequence and just write another idea. And record that idea down. So the structure of sequences and having all the tracks already there for you to go from one to the other, it's so quick. And after you write something in a sequence like this, if I want to delete this, I don't need to choose everything or erase the track. I can just go record, play, start. And it erases everything. To me, that's one of the greatest things about the MPC is how quick you can get an idea out. Okay, let's get into number two. For number two, I have the MPC as a complete machine that has everything you need. Everything that you can expect from a DAW. All the tools that you need to create a song, you have them inside of the MPC. Connect synthesizers to it. It has synthesizers built in. It has tracks, it has audio tracks, it samples. You know, it has all the functionality that you would expect from a DAW inside this machine. So MPC, Music Production Center, you can make a whole song inside this. You have song mode where you can put all your sequences together. You can record audio tracks into this. You can record samples, cut samples. You have your plugins inside this. You have native plugins like the key groups where you can also play notes and record them into the grid. You have a grid, and obviously with key groups you can connect your keyboard and play. You can also have MIDI tracks, and you can connect external synthesizers and work with external gear, and having the MIDI out from the MPC control these devices at the same time. It's like a complete studio where you can do everything inside of one box. As I said, the MPC, it's a very complete machine, but also another strength of the MPC that I really like is that it has different workflows. What I mean that it has different workflows is that you can do the same thing in different ways, 2 or 3 different ways. For example, the step sequencer, you can record in the step sequencer, or you can record in the grid. You can record by using the pads, you can record by using the pencil tool, you can record in the step editor. I mean, it all ends up being the same thing in the end, but the MPC allows you those different workflows. And how cool is that? That you can, have your own workflow with the machine. If you don't like doing one thing one way, oh, there's another way of doing it. Not many machines, I think, offer that. And let me just say something like, this isn't me, like, Akai doesn't pay me to say these things. These are things that I do every day, and it's really something that I like about it. As I was mentioning, you can record notes into the MPC in many different ways. In the step sequencer, in the list editor, you can input notes here as well just by pressing on the note. You can go into the grid and write it if you want. You can record it with the pads. There are different workflows for different type of people. I remember having a student of mine, he wanted to know how he could record just by pressing on the pad step by step. And I said, look, you have the list editor if that's really what you want to do. And that proves how the MPC can serve each individual workflow. Okay, let's jump on to the next one. Now I've put number 4 and 5 together, sampling and cutting samples. The MPC, to me, it offers me different ways of sampling, and I mean that I can go to audio tracks and sample straight into the audio track just as a normal recorder. I can sample from the sampler, I can use the looper, and having different ways of cutting a sample is really important. I don't think any machine offers what the MPC offers, really. I mean, you can sample from the sampler right here, and you can sample just the normal way of pressing on the record and then stopping it. You can slice it up, so if you have an audio signal coming in, just like my voice is coming in at this moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have pad tap. You can start at any pad and stop it. You have pad hold. Instead of tapping, you can hold it and then release to stop the slice. You can sample through the pad looper. This is another way of sampling. You can sample to an audio track. This is another way of recording into the MPC. And the other point I was reaching as well is the way that you cut the sample. Now you can slice a sample while you record. You can use the slice, as we saw. We can use the pad tap, which you're slicing at the same time that you are sampling. And then you can go into the sampler edit, and you can slice it in different ways right here. So you have threshold, you have regions, you have slices by the BPM. You can do it obviously manually within the program edit. That's another way of chopping a sample. Moving on to number 6. This is one of the things that I have most fun with. Not so much for making the beat, but after you make the beat, you go into your track mutes and you just have fun with the machine. You know, track mutes, it's about having fun. It's about muting pads and releasing sounds again. And from here we can also take ideas, and because you can record the mutes that you do within track mute, means that you can actually structure a song that way, just by having fun with the song. You know, I remember when I got my first MPC, it was a 2000 XL. I had so much fun with it when I discovered, I didn't know that track mutes existed. And when I discovered that, when I saw track mutes, I was, what is this? Oh, you mute and unmute? And all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah. I was just, it's the most fun that you can have with the MPC. After you make a beat, you go and have fun with the track mutes. That's like all the time. Double the bars, now I have 32. And I'm gonna have some fun and record the track mutes with it, because you can record the track mutes as well, and this way you can build a song up. Yeah, now you can just play it and you have all your mutes done to the tracks. Okay, now we're gonna get into the brains of the MPC. And for number 7, I have Flatten the Pad. This is a new function that the MPC has, and I'm putting it on the top 10 things that I love because it's a tool that I use all the time. Before you would have to resample your sounds. Now you don't need to. You just go into Flatten the Pad and then you have the new sample straight away, already chopped for you. You don't need to go and trim the edges of the sample like you used to do back in the days. No. Now you can go into Flatten the Pad and say that the layers that you have, everything that's associated to that pad will be transformed into a new sample, and that includes all the effects that you added to it, everything. So I have this pad right here, right? I'm gonna go into layer number 2, and I'm gonna just layer something with this. Okay, now I can just resample this automatically with Flatten the Pad, and I'll say, hey, I don't want any seconds at the end. I don't have any delay or any reverb, so I don't need any audio tail. I'm just gonna say do it. And now I have a new sample ready to go in layer number 1. Still inside the drum program, still inside the brains of the MPC, which is the drum programs, I'm going to go with a function that's also relatively new to the MPC workflow. I don't know if this exists within samplers like the MPC 5000, the loop function. This is another function that I use all the time, and it's useful to extend samples. You can create delay effects with this. You know, you can create synth sounds if you just loop a waveform. The loop function is definitely an excellent tool to create a lot of sound design work. I'm going to use my kick. You have to turn on the note on to make it available, okay? So you can create a certain delay. I mean, I'm using the kick here to be faster, but you can do this with any sound. So I'm just going to release here the envelope. You've created some delay with this. Okay, I'm going to loop just the end here. It's going to extend my sample. I'm going to go here and turn the loop lock off. Okay, now the loop is going to act just at the end right here. There we go. Now we have a sample that was just a short sample. We can now just play it as a long sample. And with the loop function, you can also use it to create your synth sounds. This is something I have in a video, and basically what it does is that you can just loop like a very small section. Use 16 levels with this. This is a pack. And all these key groups are made by just a single waveform, so a very small waveform. I'm gonna load maybe, I don't know, a Shore. I think this one's a cool one. So let's listen to it. Yeah, so this is a key group that I created. It has some sound design with water samples that I took from a stream. Apart from that, you have just this wave right here looping, as you see, and then at the end you have that water sound. Yeah, so the loop function, get to know it. You'll be able to do a lot within the MPC with that. Number 9, you know, this might sound boring, but it's 16 levels. Everyone uses 16 levels. Everyone takes it for granted. You know, it's one of the things that everyone clicks when they're making beats because they want to make a bass line from a bass sample, because they want to change the hi-hat, the velocity, because they want to do something with the filters, because I don't know. I mean, like, who doesn't use 16 levels? So everyone knows it. I'm not going to explain it, what it does or anything. I have a video you might want to check out with 16 levels. It's really interesting when you use simultaneous play with 16 levels at the same time. You can have different pads interact through 16 levels, and that's really cool to create some sound design. Okay, I'm going to finish this off with number 10. I mean, come on, the grid view, again, I come from the old school. You have to build everything inside your mind. You don't have any visuals. The old MPCs didn't have a sequencer that you can look at. You have to just record everything and listen to it, which isn't a bad thing. No, I remember a time when I came from the 2000 XL to the 2500. I got the JJOS into the 2500, and I remember that you would have a grid view as well. And that was just so magical to me. I could see the dots on the 2500. I was literally so happy to see that. Like, oh my God, there's the dot, there's my snare, there's my kick. I'm putting the grid view in here because I use the grid view all the time. Like, it's a screen that I'm just on all the time. And because I like to program beats, not just record unquantized, but also nudge notes. I like the visuals, I like to see where I am with the kicks and the snares. For the young guys now, it might just be like, yeah, whatever, you have a grid view. But coming from the old MPCs and coming into the new ones, now with a touch screen and a screen on your MPC where you can see the actual notes and you can nudge them and move them around, it's just so important and helped me a lot with my workflow. Even though I'm not much of a touch screen guy, I kind of need to have it from now on. I like looking at the grid view. So I don't know if the 5000 and the 4000 have a grid view, but I come from the 2000 XL and then went to the 2500 Renaissance. Having the touch, my workflow just sped up. My swing got better because I could select notes and nudge them just a little bit. This is where the magic happens for me. I don't use much of the step sequencer. I prefer to be here and to see what I'm recording all the time. And now we have the ability to actually design the automation here as well. We have velocity and you can choose other parameters. So super quick to use. You can jump between tracks right there. These are the top 10 things that I love about the MPC. I wonder if there could be other ones. I don't know. There probably are other ones that I forgot about. Let me know which ones are the best ones that you love. I don't know. Let me know, but definitely these are the things that I love. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have a great day.